2023 Mazda 3 Sport GT Review. Want to fall back in love with the car? Even a cursory peek at automotive sales figures these days will tell you that in all likelihood, the car format's days are numbered. The vehicles people like to drive aren't, by and large, the same as the ones people used to like to drive. These days, practicality takes precedence over driving pleasure. Admittedly, most modern SUVs and crossovers are easy and pleasant to drive day to day, especially because they are mostly based on unibody architectures. Yet, all those big, heavy, high-sitting vehicles can't compete with a good old-fashioned car when it comes to handling and agility. I recently got behind the wheel of a 2023 Mazda 3 Sport GT with all-wheel drive. And behind the wheel of the brand's smallest car, if you exclude the excellent MX-5 Roadster, the least you can say is that it can quickly forget the advantages of SUVs when you find this sporty compact. The exterior, not a Mazda speed, but when engineers finally succumbed to the temptation of pairing the turbocharged four-cylinder engine with a Mazda 3 for the 2021 model year, many nostalgic fans believed it represented the second coming of the Mazda Speed 3. Alas, no. The Japanese carmaker is now aiming to improve its image to attract a more affluent clientele. The image conveyed by the Mazda Speed badge is closer to the tuning scene of the 2000s, which is not exactly what the brand strategists are trying for now. In fact, when you look at the 2023 Mazda 3 GT Turbo, you won't find too many clues identifying it as a higher performance variant. No oversized wheels, no air intake on the hood, no aggressive bumper and no gigantic spoiler at the rear. There are a few distinctive elements, like the slightly larger exhaust pipes, 18-inch wheels with a gloss black finish, an applied finish on the side mirror shells and that little TURBO badge on the rear trunk, but that's it. In fact, the spunkiest Mazda 3 in the lineup is almost too invisible on the road. Mind you, this appearance has its advantages for those not interested in standing out. I have to admit, the build quality of Mazda's compact car is very good for a car that is competing largely with models like the Honda Civic and Hyundai Elantra. In fact, at a price of $37,400, this little car should theoretically be in the same league as the Mercedes-Benz A-Class and even the Acura Integra, for example. But inflation in recent months has changed everything in the industry, so much so that a Honda Civic C, the most expensive Civic, sells for $37,025, including preparation fees. That's only slightly less than the Mazda 3 Sport GT, which has all-wheel drive and even a more powerful powertrain, 250 horsepower and 320 lb-ft of torque, than the C's, 200 horsepower and 192 lb-ft of torque. Granted, Honda's sporty Civic C is a different, more delinquent kind of car, but still, it illustrates the envious position the 3 Sport is in right now. The interior, the other side of the coin. It's clear that one of the missions of this Mazda 3 is to put a smile on its driver's face, starting with the drive of course, but also extending to the snappy interior and easy-to-find driving position, helped by the power-adjustable seats. However, this compact car's cabin isn't the roomiest environment, nor does it offer the best rearward visibility. The 5-door version of the Mazda 3 suffers from very wide C-pillars and a small rear window opening that almost turn its interior into an actual cocoon. Let's just say that if you're a claustrophobe, this might not be the choice for you. As mentioned, the Mazda 3 GT's build quality is amazing for a car in this class. This is evident inside as well, for example with the soft rubber dashboard and the metallic touches on the steering wheel. I especially like the keys installed horizontally on the central part of the dash, like a keyboard. However, not all the buttons underneath are visible from the driver's seat, notably the one for the heated steering wheel. The center console is otherwise well laid out. There's a tiny lever for the driving modes, an electronic brake, a big knob for navigating through the infotainment system menus and a little button for the audio volume. The problem is that it's not that easy to find your way around the wheel that serves as your go-to command center. Yes, the screen is now touch sensitive, but it's too distant from the driver, forcing them to stretch their arm. Bottom line, the Mazda 3 is a very pleasant car for driving fans, and for first-row passengers, but there's still work to be done, especially in terms of connectivity. On the road. Compared to the old Mazda Speed 3, this Mazda 3 Sport GT is less explosive in its performance. First of all, the mere presence of the all-wheel drive system means that the driver doesn't deal with the torque effect delivered by that older model. The same is true of the exhaust system's sound. The Speed 3 was all about attracting attention, while this 3 Sport GT clearly prefers discretion. Now, I can assure you that the turbocharged 4-cylinder's rumble is not at all unpleasant, while the automatic transmission does an excellent job, even if it has to make do with only 6 gears. The other point where the sportiest Mazda 3 differs from its ancestor is in terms of comfort. The suspension is more the friend of occupants, and the seats are soft enough to support passengers for several hours. In the back, space is unsurprisingly much more limited, due to the sloping roof, but also because of the Mazda 3's length, or lack of it.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.